JK Games, a gaming podcast where we bring you the news and reviews we care about.
And this season, we're playing through one game at a time with our official video game book club.
And whether you're the type 200% every side quest,
or you're just here for the vibes and the story,
easy mode or expert, you belong in our conversation. And if you like getting into Titans as much as I do, you're in the right place, because I've been trying to crawl up all in BT the whole way. Still wouldn't let me.
So grab your snacks, grab your time turners, and we're going to break it down.
Oh, that's what that's called.
Actually, I don't think that's really it.
Break it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Your disembodied beatboxing voice that you hear if you're listening to the audio only version would be none other than our special guest, Koleman. Koleman, how you doing?
Ooh, I'm doing great. I feel so special to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. No better guest to have on the Titanfall 2 episode than Koleman, my brother, if you're unfamiliar, if you didn't watch the last episode. Jerica, how are you today? My co-host, my lovely co-host.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Oh no.
She's a little unmedicated, and she took a nap during the day, and that's never happened before. So I don't know what y'all are gonna get tonight. I got some rants about this mech in Titanfall 2 by the name of BT, my buddy tank. I got some thoughts. I feel a certain way about the ending of Titanfall 2, and I cannot wait for us to discuss. Because, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But other than that, I'm doing great, I think.
Okay. All right. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts, because this is episode 2 of our Titanfall 2 book club. If you missed the first episode, we did go into kind of like our first impressions. And by our, I mean Jerica and Josh, which Josh is our producer. Josh, how are you doing today?
I'm here too. Titanfall 2.
Oh, all the twos.
We did it. We beat it. I don't beat that many games these days, so you know.
Well, lucky enough, this is one of the shortest games I've played this whole year, with it being, I'm very curious about y'all's runtime, which we can talk about later, but it definitely is very nice and compact, which is very fun. Because when I was thinking about like replaying it, because one of my favorite games of all time, one of Koleman, my brother's favorite games of all time, which is why he's here. However, I haven't replayed it in probably since it came out. I mean, I've replayed the first mission a couple times, but I haven't actually played it like to completion in years. This game came out in 2016, so almost 10 years ago. So very excited to hear what you guys think. But before we get into any of that, got to hit you with a little bit of a loadout, if you will. If you're new here, we typically lay our episodes out in a couple different sections. Same with our video game book club. We will be announcing, I actually haven't consulted Jerica about this, but I figured we'd probably announce our next book club maybe at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
A little tease.
Yeah.
I got some stuff pulled up for the background of that.
Okay.
Anticipating it.
That's towards the end of the episode. We'll probably do that. But to get us started with our loadout, we call our housekeeping, we call it our loadout, but we got a little special loadout game today. We can go ahead and start off with that. If you want to find all of our things, all of our socials, JK Games Podcast on all platforms, our website, you can go to jkgamespodcast.com and check out all of our different socials. You can check out our merch, which I'm actually not wearing today, but Koleman is sporting a rare piece of JK Games merch. If you're watching the video, he's got a little, ASMR. That's nice.
Well, it's a solid cap. If you got, I don't know if you've been in a hailstorm. No, we always need, if they need hail falling, to protect your forehead.
What is it called in Death Stranding when the rain, what is that called?
Yeah. From aging.
A lot of crossover between Titanfall and Death Stranding.
It's everywhere in our lives.
Yeah.
Even when I pee, I think of mushrooms. So it's Death Stranding everywhere.
But that's where you can find all of our things. You can find our Discord where you can join in on the conversation. We have kind of a different area for each video game book club. So you can join in on the conversation wherever we're at in that game. Coleman, would you like to plug maybe your socials? Where can people find you if they want to get any of your content, any of your videos?
Man, you can find me pretty much anywhere with just my name and change the L to a 1. That's Coleman,
Nice.
K-O-1 E-Man, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much everywhere. Pretty easy.
Nice. Nice. Well, Coleman, you're leading us through a special kind of loadout to get us started today. Um, we're gonna gear up. We're gonna get ready. Doop, 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 doop. That's me loading up. That's my loadout sound.
Oh yeah.
Tell
Oh
us
yeah.
about your idea for our lovely little icebreaker game, and we can go ahead and get started. But what are you walking us through today? Tell us your vision.
Well, today we are, since we developed more of a sense of the game and we know
Mhm.
more about different types of weapons and classes and titans and whatnot, I thought it was great for us to warm up with a little icebreaker game of us making each individual Titan and pilot, if we want to pilot, mainly the custom Titan for each other. And we make a Titan based off each other. And, I just thought that'd be pretty fun. Even if it's not in the game, even if it's just a custom, personality Titan. This is what you would be drop game. This is what you would have. And we did a little bit of a prep before we started this. Not surprising last time. And so I I'm really excited to see what we all created for each other.
Yeah, I'm excited. And shout out to our lovely pop in chat this evening. We've got Cognitive Clips first in the chat. We've got Gianni. We've got Heroic Headgear, self-proclaimed Titanfall's #1 fan. We've got Coal Mines and lots of popping in the chat, which I'm excited for them to hear our little builds we've made for each other. Let's see. Coleman, I feel like you should go. Maybe you shouldn't go first. Maybe we do Josh. You want to go first? Josh made a loadout for Coleman. So I'd
Yeah.
love to hear what kind of build
Oh,
did you
wow.
make?
Going first. The pressure's on because I get a little crazy with things sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
Rip the band-aid off.
I didn't create a pilot loadout, but my pilot vision would be, how like each of these pilots are kind of like they're kind of they're characters in the game, the enemy pilots, like the mercenary crew, they're kind of
Yeah.
like they're very like have a flavor to them.
They're predators.
Yeah, I guess so. So I imagined Coleman's pilot being called the Snack Man. Yeah. And
Heck yeah.
so for his Titan, I didn't go too crazy. It's not too crazy. Don't worry. You're not like throwing Pringles or sorry, Lay's stacks. I'm sorry. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. But in the spirit of that, however, so for your Titan, for your main weapon, I imagine like this big metal tube, okay? And it's loaded with spinning buzz saws. Okay.
Whoa.
So this is Lay Stacks
Ooh, that's
inspired,
awesome.
but they're not chips though. They're deadly lethal buzz saws. So, it's loaded in the tube. And so it shoots out and it can ricochet off things too. So you could bounce off a wall or something, which I feel like is in the spirit of like wall running, but like with the buzzsaw thing. So you can like ricochet it off a wall or something like that. So that's the
Nice.
main weapon. For the for the tactical, I guess, weapon, because I'm also thinking like, not that your whole identity is as Kayla's little brother, but on the show it is, I suppose. So since you're a little brother, you got little brother energy. So I imagine your tactical is like a mini Titan that comes out that detaches, and it's like, and it's chaotic. It's like a remote control. It can like run around and like climb things and stuff. Yeah, exactly. See, Jerica's got the voice.
There
Exactly.
we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you got
That's the energy.
Yeah. So like a little mini Titan that can detach and like run around and like jump around or whatever. And then the defensive thing, got to go with like, look, not just because you like Star Wars, but it's also mech canon like in Gundam universe where they have beam swords. So the defensive is like a lightsaber style, like giant beam sword kind of thing, and so it can deflect.
Kind of similar to the one in the actual class, right?
Yeah.
I forget what it's
the
called.
Ronin one.
Yeah.
And for the core weapon, it's gonna like get the little it's gonna get your little whatever that little dude is, the mini Titan, and it'll like run up and like jump on someone, and then like all the buzzsaws can like shoot out like all at once, basically.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Man,
And then I forgot the last
that is
one, the
awesome.
ordnance, which is on the snack theme. I didn't want to be like you straight up shooting ketchup, but you can shoot a hydraulic mech fluid, Titan fluid, to like trap people like in it, you know, like it sticks people down on the ground. This is a good kit.
Nice.
Wow,
I gotta say.
That's a pretty solid
awesome.
build.
Yeah.
You got very close to what I actually play in Titanfall 2 in multiplayer, because I did play Ronin. I love playing Ronin.
Well, that's good.
I loved getting up in people, slicing people.
This is perfect. I guess after you get your Titan fortune told, or however we're calling this, yeah, say what your favorite in universe class is. So is that yours, Ronin?
Right. Yeah,
Ronan's
100%.
the one with the big
like
sword.
being
Yeah,
able
the
to
big sword one.
Yeah, and he can phase through and dash and like go, like it's basically like dashing through dimensions. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so that also reminds me a lot of, what is the Apex, what's the girl's name that does the
Sloan?
phasing?
Is it Sloan? Yeah. No?
Ghost?
No.
Wraith.
Wraith, yeah, in Apex, yeah. But Sloan,
Oh, dang.
Coleman, is
I feel
Sloan
like
a character in Apex?
I was trying to figure that out, but she obviously is dead. But I was like, I feel like I've heard that name like in Apex before. But
said Ash too.
Yes, Ash is definitely in Apex for sure.
I'm just confusing things. Sloan, we'll get to this later. The villain names are very common. Everybody's name is so
common names. This whole game, you know.
I get everybody confused.
Yeah, shout out to Blaster Goblin with the sub.
Hell yeah, Blaster Gobby's taking time off the streets of skating around, I don't know, wherever, to hang out with us. Thank you. Because he skateboards and plays the bass.
Wow.
He's got a lot of things. Same time. I've seen it.
That's cool.
Well, since Coleman got his fortune read, Coleman, did you want to give Josh his from you?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do Josh's. So mine, I really wanted to embrace Josh's retro gaming in his Titan. And so I really, so I didn't do the pilot, but your Titan, his name is Kong64.
Oh, this is good.
Oh.
You know what's funny? You wouldn't have known this. You wouldn't have known this, but one of my very first usernames, which I didn't even make because like I was like literally like whatever, 7 years old, and you know like your parents make you like a account for something or whatever. And my dad was making me an account for like the official Nintendo forums, the Loud House, and he made my name. It was my first online username ever. It was King Kong.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
So you nailed it.
Yes. So I imagine this Titan is straight up built kind of like a gorilla, like Donkey Kong, where he has his appendages, like his front arms on the it's on all fours. And I imagine his Titan has like fur pattern on it, because none of the I mean I think there is one person who may have a little bit of fur on his Titan, but I'm not quite sure, but I imagine there's like, you know, a fur cape over him or something, like a black fur cape.
Nice.
And so his primary would be, I call it the banana cannon, but it can be, you know, but it's kind of like a J-shaped cannon where he kind of almost like bagpipes, where he holds it and he shoots like cluster grenades. So it's kind of like he shoots like cluster grenade.
A bunch of bananas.
And yeah, banana shaped grenades. So I really took like Donkey Kong inspired, obviously, with all this. I wanted him to have some sort of movement, so I really want him to have like a vine or something that he can like swing from.
That's cool.
Like something that he can like attach to something and swing and land on the ground. Like
very cool.
Slam.
Like Spider-Man with like a giant cable or
Titan.
something. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so the ordinance that I picked was, you have your grenades that you put in your gun, but you also have like big bombs too that you would throw like barrels at people, and they would bounce.
Ooh.
Okay.
Kind of like the saws, like how
you
they would
could
bounce,
ricochet
they
them
hit
and stuff.
walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I try to think of a defense for him as well. So like I imagine I think the Ronin, what he does is he just straight up holds up his sword
I think so.
to
Yeah.
block bullets.
Yeah. You just like hold it.
And I imagine what Kong do would just like block with his big gorilla arms, just like block like that. So for like your core, like your ultimate ability when you get it is, I imagine you put your weapon on your back and you just start gorilla slamming like a shockwave.
Yeah,
like you just start pounding your And then that's basically it. I would like to add like one tiny little niche thing that this may be a little bit more into this campaign, but they never bring back being able to throw pilots in the multiplayer. So I would love if his Titan would be able to throw pilots at people.
Multiplayer exclusive.
Which is
like,
sad
grab
because
a
that part's
friendly
so
and throw
cool.
it.
And they do it a couple times in the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would request the pilot actually look like Josh, so I can just see Josh being thrown.
Sure.
You know,
of course.
Across
Put me in
the map.
Mhm.
Hey, that was good. So far, Jerica and Caleb have a lot of pressure because,
mine aren't going to be.
Look,
maybe you've messed
Heroic
up.
Hager says that would be so
Kayla.
sick as a real Titan class. And Respawn, call this man. See, that was good.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
I know what I'm talking about.
I guess my favorite in-game one was, I talked about last time. Actually, I always end up going back to Tones or whatever it's called, Tone, like the second one or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just liked how I like the gameplay of it where you just kind of you build up like the little targeting lock on by just shooting those little single shots at them, and then you release like all those missiles at once. I just like the gameplay loop of that a lot. And so I just
very
kept
well balanced.
I kept like in the level where you get the new ones, it kind of is usually tailored for the first little part to like use that new one usually. Like if you get the fire one, you know, it's like a lot of enemies and stuff, but I ended up always almost switching back to the Tones one. But yeah, your build was really good. I really like that.
That was really good and themed. Jerica, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. I was saying, Kayla, you made a mistake of letting them go first because I have a feeling ours.
Who knows,
I don't know. We'll see.
I have some ideas.
Mine's very generic. It's like, hey, what do I know about Kayla and what's the things I know she loves? And it's books and tea. So it's all centered around that.
Ooh.
So this Titan throws big ass books. Like it's just chunking the biggest books you can find, the heaviest hardcover books. Because the Titan is so strong, I would assume this is a tanky Titan, and it's just throwing these massive books, and they're on fire, and they're just hitting targets.
I like the idea of like splash damage with that, where like it would hit, like the pages shoot down, like you could like,
that was in my notes too.
There you go.
Yes, yeah. You're just reading off of my document. How impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I winked at the camera. But yeah, so here's my loadout for her. For this Titan that she's inside. There's also a T smoke grenade. Ooh. I feel like I know T is also Josh's thing, and maybe he can help me make sense of this. I feel like T can be turned, it's liquid. I mean, obviously it's not, but the tea itself is liquid. I don't know how science works, but I need like it to turn into a poisonous cloud of some sort. Can that happen, Josh?
Yeah, you could, because you could like flash steam it. Like you're just saying, like you could like flash steam it.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
You could, yeah.
And it actually smells good. So people, like the enemies will be like, oh my God, is that chamomile, lavender?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's putting people in a trance, and people just fall over in it, you know? And then you're just able to throw your books, which is great.
That's amazing.
You have a couple of special like moves that you can also use in your downtime. You have this book counter protocol that's initiated. So like based on how many books you've read this year, your attacks and then the amount of books you throw is amplified.
Whoa. I like this.
The more books you read, the more powerful you are in the year.
In my Goodreads account.
We'll keep it to a 12-month rolling period here.
Okay.
That way you can't be too powerful. You got to get nerfed at some point. That was in the patch. Unfortunately.
Gotcha.
And then I have a special move. So the last, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Passive move.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Would be farm sim hack. Basically, the other Titan that's attacking you, you hack them. And all that shows up on their HUD is like Stardew Valley. And they're like forced to play.
This is actually funny. I could see something like this where like it hacks their screen and they have to play like a little mini game to like.
That's so
that's actually funny.
They actually have to play this game I don't know, pick like 5 strawberries before they're able to get that to the battlefield.
Actually.
That's really good. Wow.
And your finishing move or your special alt, whatever, is called Let's Unpack That. And basically, you force whoever's in the other Titan to get out of the Titan suit. Y'all have lawn chairs. Y'all sit down and talk about the most like emotionally heart-wrenching book of all time, and y'all are forced to talk about it and relate. So.
The special you get out of the Titans and try to like negotiate through a book club.
Yes. Yes. I feel like Kayla's like one of the best people you can talk to about literally anything.
So funny.
Also, not my therapist or anything, but sometimes she feels like my therapist. So maybe y'all are talking about feelings on the battlefield. Loves the battlefield. So that's what I hear. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
I'm
Jerica,
done.
that was so good.
Thanks.
Said broken
What was
AF
the name of
this.
the Titan?
Oh.
I didn't have a name. You have any, Kayla, what do you want to name your Titan?
Instead of tone, it could be tome. Like a tome. Like a book. Is a
Okay,
tome,
yes. Okay. That's it. That was in my notes too.
Yeah. Also, hello, Ladder 83. Welcome to the live show.
Jake Twitchin said, guess my favorite person on this cast. Hint, it's not Jerica, Kayla, or Josh. Wow. There you go. There you
go. My favorite.
Oh no, you've wakened the Kraken here. Oh no.
Let him at him.
Let him out.
Koleman, I might need your help because for some reason I cannot remember the name of what it is that I'm like my favorite Titan class is. What's the one where the core is like just the like burst where it just like continuously is like it's like
Ion.
Continuous. Ion, that's my favorite one. Yeah. I like it just basic, like I just want to shoot. I don't like any sort of like 3-round burst, any sort of burst like weapon. I'm very like straight and to the point. Like I like that. I do like that it has the tripwire. I think that's fun. But yeah, I'm pretty basic.
That one's actually pretty fun too. And I didn't use it. I never really used a tripwire, but I liked that play of that one too.
We have a chat entry from Blaster Goblin who said, if I made a Titan, it would basically be the Batman villain Condiment King. Arm-mounted ketchup and mustard cannons. The belly would be giant set of gas station hot dog rollers. You just wait for what I have for Jerica because you're stealing my thunder.
It better have hot dogs.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I gotta say.
For the audio listeners, Jerica's face just got huge.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Before I finish, Blaster Goblin, yes. So, okay, here's my Jerica Titan. I don't have a name for it. Maybe it could be gas station. Okay, so Jerica, this is your Titan.
Yeah.
Your weapon is a giant hot dog laser gun.
Oh, hell yeah.
And essentially
Matrix 5000. I don't know.
Hell yeah. Essentially, similar to Coleman's like not hot dog, banana gun. Yours is very similar. It's on. Actually, I think yours should be like strapped like a fanny pack, like along the front of your body. And then when you're ready to use it, you like get the fanny pack up and you're like this. Yeah. And then it squirts molten mustard out.
You had me at squirt.
It's like molten mustard.
Keep all my Titans till I tune.
Yeah, exactly. Period. Your ordnance. Okay, get ready. it's so funny that me and Jerica took similar approaches to just like throw a bunch of our favorite things at something. And Koleman and Josh came up with this like very intricate theme. Like, yeah. So my ordinance for Jerica is it releases, like when she kind of does this ability, it releases actual BTs, beach things from Death Stranding.
Oh, that's smart.
And they like come out of like she's got like a backpack on.
Love a good
and
crossover.
They like come out and they like do like this, kind of similar to the smoke. Yeah. And then her tactical is it deploys from her like backpack. I didn't really think through what it should look like aside from like the hot dog weapon, but it deploys like this Destiny ghost shell from her backpack.
Yeah.
And it surveys the area. It's like a survey, like a tells you where people are, that kind of thing. And it just goes back. So it's just like a quick little tactical ability. And then for your defensive, Jerica, I did steal a mention that Josh had when we were coming up with this idea, but I think it's too good not to. Your defensive is you deploy a shit ton of moist buttered roll landmines. Okay. Think your little butter roll graphic.
That's how I feel about that.
They explode when you touch them. So that's your defensive. And then your hex, your core is actually hex tech gauntlets, like Violet has from Arcane. And so you like initiate your core, and you're on your thighs of your Titan. You can like you slap your arms down, and then the gauntlets like stick over your arms.
That makes sense. They're there, and then you put your arm.
I'm hyped right now.
Yeah, and then you just like muscle through with like boop, 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 boop. That's your core.
Definitely not a strategic character ever. I'm just like running and gunning. So like melee all the way.
There you go.
That's so cool. I love like a good thigh slap. I hope that's how it like bam on the thighs. That's what I want to do. That's a good move.
There you go.
Wait, what's your favorite in-game Titan loadout?
For me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just the two that I ended up playing with, basically, was the ones y'all mentioned. I was is it Ronin? Whatever is the sword ninja guy.
That's Ronin.
And then, the one Tone, the one you were mentioning. I use that a lot. Because the other ones I was just getting destroyed. And I was like, it's either close or far away combat for me.
Yeah.
I love it. Coleman, that was a really good game. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for bringing it to the table.
Everyone did good with those.
Thank you for playing.
Yes.
So, now that we made all the Titans for each other, do y'all want to play as that Titan in the game?
Yeah.
I totally would.
Yeah.
Would have made this game 10 out of 10.
Next, he's hiring someone on Fiverr to like mod it in.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, now that we've kind of like loosened up a little bit, we do have a little bit of time to go over our easy mode, which is what we've been playing currently. Is there anything else besides Titanfall? I know we've all dedicated some time to replay it. Coleman's been replayed this like many times very recently. So Koleman, what else have you been playing? Is there anything else you wanted to highlight as far as like, I know last week we kind of gave a little bit of your gaming like taste. Is there anything on your radar right now? What are you playing right now?
In honor of spooky season, I've been really getting into Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight has always been that game where I see people play it and I want to play it, to know how to be good at it. And so I love watching people play difficult looking games and then learning how to play it. So like MOBA games, I see them and I'm like,
sounds like Jerica. Ooh. Nice. That's one of those games that I don't know if anybody else on the panel has played, but it is hard. It's really tough if you don't have like that built skill. Like it's one of those where there's a lot of sweaty people in that game. I bet Coleman's one of those now.
yeah.
But it is fun to play with your
friends.
Just kidding. That's a fun, good spooky season game. Josh, what you been playing?
I did recently finally beat Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Nice.
And I also tried the DLC out, which it's not really a spoiler because it was shown on the Nintendo Direct, but it's like the Donkey Kong Island, so it's kind of fun. But there's a new mode. It's like our Emerald Rush mode. Normally, I don't really like rush modes that much with like timers, but it's actually really fun. I was actually surprised because DLC is kind of expensive. It's $19 and games are really kind of expensive. So I was like, I don't know. But I did it anyway. And I was actually surprised though. It's really good. The rush mode turns all the little gold into emeralds instead. So it turns the gold basically into green. But it gives you a timer to like collect a certain amount, and there's these little checkpoints, and it keeps extending the time. But there's almost like little modifiers you can earn. So it's only for that mode when you're in that run, almost like a roguelike almost, where it's you earn like a little modifier where it's like you can choose to whatever, like multiply how much gold from terrain you earn, or multiply how much emeralds you earn from enemies, or multiply. There's like all these little modifiers, and you can get like a ton of them, like dozens, and it's like and all like rounded up. And then once you beat it on DK Island, you can unlock it for other levels that are just in the game. So it's actually pretty cool. I had a lot of fun with it, and it lasts pretty long. Like the round was like 20 minutes or more, so it was actually longer than I was expected for like a round. And different little challenges will pop up that you have to do while you're doing the thing. So it's like kill these enemies over here, and you're having to like try to like run around, rush around everywhere, and like find a good path. And like there's new bananas that pop up, and you have to find the emerald bananas, and they're like in interesting places. So it's a lot of what makes Donkey Kong Bonanza fun, but in a fast paced, like timed environment. So you're really rushing and like just trying to run to the next banana and get these modifiers. So it's actually a lot of fun if you've already beat the game.
And can you only access it if you've beat the game completely?
You can access the new area if you haven't, but I believe you can only do Emerald Rush once you beat the game, to my knowledge.
Good to know, because I still have not beat that game, but I really want to.
It's good though,
it's really fun. Cool. Well, Jerica, what have you been playing lately? We haven't talked about what you've been playing.
And this is not because of Josh has been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, but funny, Jordan Cog has also finished it. Like he texted me about it, like asked if I've done it, and I was like, no, I haven't touched it in weeks. And when he mentioned that to me, I was just like, you know what? I'm sort of feeling out of today. I just want to chill. I don't want to play anything too complicated, but God, it sort of got complicated. But when I thought I was going to sign up for a good time, but I forget like how much, like with Donkey Kong Bonanza, like how different a lot of the areas are. And I was like, okay, this is starting to get a little challenging. That's what I'm talking about. Like the game is constantly evolving, and I really want to get it done soon. So like probably in between all the things that are coming out, like that's probably going to be the game that I'm just like, I played on handheld the other night too, just on the couch. Nice. I usually don't do that, but I'm like, my girlfriend's still playing a lot of Silk Song. I've given up on that. It's just not in the cards right now, and got to really play a lot to get great. So I'm watching her play it, but I'm also playing Donkey Kong at the same time. Not nearly as difficult, but every time I come back to it, I'm always like, this game is so good. Oh my God, where is it gonna land on my game of the year list? Because it's hard to pick right now, because this is every time I pick it up, I'm like, this game is so good, and I didn't expect it to be this good.
I will say, like you're talking about, it does, even all the way through the end, where just about the time you think like, okay, well, I get the mechanics now, the loop or whatever, then it just adds a new one, or it changes or explores in a different way, all the way up through the end. So I really appreciate that about that, where like, even though it seems simple, it's constantly introducing new ideas and exploring new ideas like that. So
I got to the level like with all the lava and the tornadoes last night, and like you can pull the ground like up, and I had to use it like as an umbrella. I'm like, that's so cool. And then you have to use it to like hold on to like ride the magical vine to the next location. And I'm like, how much more of this is in this game? And I feel like there's a lot.
There's more,
that's so cool. Mm-hmm. That's so cool. That's all I've been playing.
Yeah.
This and Titanfall.
And this, yeah.
Yeah.
I've played a couple of new releases that I wanted to touch on before we dive into the nitty-gritty of the episode.
Let's go.
I also wanted to chill and relax, Jerica, so I picked up this game that we actually talked about when we did a reaction to the Wholesome Direct, which is Town to City. And I played the demo and I loved the demo, and it came out like a few days ago. I think it came out on the 21st, maybe? No, a few days prior to that. I think it was like the 16th. But I love this game. It is a classic city builder, but it's a little bit more involved. Like, and think like it has almost the pixelated kind of graphic look, but it is 3D. So it kind of reminds me of SimCity a little bit. And in the way that it also still does, like is a little bit of like engineering involved in a way, because like you have to connect the roads to like your warehouse. You have to have a warehouse that connects to like all your little shops. You have to keep the people happy. You have to have like decorations and like there's certain things that people ask for. So it's a little bit more like it's so far there's really a balance for me to like having a cozy game, but still having enough engagement for it to be like, I want to return to it kind of thing. So I feel like this balances that really well. So I'm excited to keep going. Would definitely recommend it. The music is great. It's very relaxing. So that's the first one. And then the other one that I've kind of just really dabbled in is Henry Halfhead. Don't know what you know about Henry Halfhead.
I watched the trailer for this and I made Audrey sit. I was like, you don't know what you're about to watch.
Yeah.
No, I'm so glad you played this game.
Yeah.
If the people don't know, Kayla, tell them what is it?
You know, Jerica, I think you would really like this game. I think
it's got me written all over it.
It really does. So literally you're this child named Henry and you literally have half a head. That's basically it. And you
are half a head, not just that you have half a head.
Well, yes, exactly, precisely. Yeah. And then you are in your room and you like, it's the classic, like you've seen it before where like you take control of the inanimate objects around you, but in a way that like you have to solve these little puzzles in your room and you're kind of like really just in this one little area. I don't know how far it goes outside of the room, and you're like, and the puzzles they start out like more juvenile where you're literally like putting blocks on top of each other, but it's a little difficult. It definitely has like some physics involved. But I know that it to me, it really does seem like a Jerica game. I think you should try it out. It's pretty affordable. I think it's only like $7 on Steam. But yeah, both of those games I recommend. Town to City, I can see myself sinking a lot of hours into, but that's my new release roundup. Both of those came out like in the span of a few days, and they were both on my radar. So I think they're both on sale as well.
I want to try both of those, to be honest. They both look good.
They're both really cute.
I would say Henry Halfhead. It was Henry Halfhead, right? I was like, did I get the name? I just know half. It's a kid and he's half a head. Yes. Like there's a game out there that I really like. It's called Space Station Silicon Valley, and it's basically this little microchip robot can jump into these little animals, and that sort of reminds me of this game, because you just like take control of whatever you put your hat on, basically. And I love that. So that's what intrigued me by it. I'm like, maybe I like to take over things,
like Mario Odyssey as well.
Yeah.
No way. But it is weird. It's very weird. The music's cute. Like I like everything. The aesthetic's nice. The music's good. Like I definitely would recommend it to you for sure. Well, we've made you wait long enough, folks. We've already lost heroic headgear, unfortunately. R.I.P. King.
I had to go eat dinner, I think.
I think so, yeah.
I guess that's important.
But I would love for us to give the reins to our newly indebted society members of the Titanfall 2 community, Jerica and Josh, to kind of give we're going to do our normal mode. We've kind of talked about spoilers, and it's a 10-year-old game. So like really the goal is not to be completely spoiler free, but mainly to give like your overall thoughts. Like I would love to know, last episode we ended at the mission Blood and Rust, which is where you kind of fight your first boss. You have a feel for the world. The story is starting to build up, but not really quite at its like apex yet. But I would love to hear, either one of you, whoever wants to go first, Josh or Jerica, would love to hear like your overall thoughts on the game. And then we can later dive into more specific story beats and like moments that I know Coleman has some he wants to go over.
Let this tongue out. It's time.
Let it out. Let it out. Listen, it out.
Maybe y'all can help remind me in a bit, but like I don't feel like there's just a lot of first-person shooters that come out and like have an incredible campaign. Like it's normally just like an afterthought, and sometimes there's more thought put into it, but you don't get those often. Like I know we just got like Borderlands 4, but trying to think back before that, like when was the last game that we've had? You know, you can think about the greats, Halo, Doom, and I'm just thinking, you know, all those experiences, and I know there's a few more, but there's not a whole lot of first-person shooters with a strong narrative. That's not just like enough. So being able to go back and play this and say like, even though this came out in 2014, 2016, I can't remember. Playing it in the second one. Okay, playing 2016, playing this now, I feel like I have literally uncovered a lost relic that still stands on its own, and it slapped me good. It felt so good to wall run everywhere. I am moist. I'm so moist for this game. It's fresh, flavorful. Even though it's from 2016, it's revolutionary for gaming. Like this did things that I have seen before, but not fully explored, and I've never seen since, even though I didn't play when it came out. But I'm like, why don't we have more of these games? I want more of these. We don't have enough. So like my statement is, game developers, if you have a first-person shooter game and you're trying to tell a story and do something cool, look at Titanfall 2. Do more of that. Do more of that. There's not a lot of innovation in this space anymore. And there's obviously things you could implement. Everything's inspired. Be inspired by this. But yeah, like we'll get into it in a second. And I think you might have a spot for this, Kayla. Like the things that as a complete package of what this is, it's truly, and I keep teasing that it's not a 10 out of 10, but no, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like for what it is. What could make it better is just having a few other things sprinkled through. I have something about the villains, and I have something about what I would want from the next Titanfall game, even though that's probably not happening. I think with the package they have, like 6 to 8 hour experience, this was chef's kiss. That's it.
Oh yeah, that is a glaringly beautiful review that I'm so excited to finally have had you play. Because I've always thought that you would enjoy it because of a lot of the similarities that I think that you really enjoy in other games. Sarah Shard with the emotes in the chat. Thank you so much. But yes, we can do some comparisons and some analysis later on. But Josh, give us your kind of like high level thoughts. What did you think?
Wow, I gotta follow up that amazing speech. Yeah. So here's the thing: when I was playing this again, like Jerica's saying, it's 2016. This feels like it could release right now easily. And I think that's just how fresh it feels. And like she's saying, there's no one really, I don't know what it is, but no one's really like approaching this style of single player campaign. And so while I was playing it, just like we just talked about with Donkey Kong Bonanza too, and I think this is very interesting because, you know, there's different schools of thought of like in game design. And one of the earliest schools of thought from some of the earliest games is from, of course, Shigeru Miyamoto. And Shigeru Miyamoto is very gameplay first kind of a person. So Nintendo, you'll notice this on Video Game Book Club, you guys just did Tears of the Kingdom. Well, you notice the story, sometimes it doesn't really make sense. And that's because Nintendo oftentimes with Donkey Kong or Zelda or Mario, they come up with the gameplay. What is the gameplay loop? And they explore those gameplay ideas in as much ways as they can. And that's a Nintendo game. And then they'll polish it up with story or decide what character it's for, whatever. And so honestly, playing this, I felt like this is like what Nintendo would make if it were like making a like gritty first person shooter, which Metroid Prime is kind of like that. And it's similar, right? But it felt like a Nintendo kind of inspired campaign because, like you said, you're playing this and you're blown away by this set piece or like this level, how it's constructed. And then the next level, it explores in a different way. And then the next level explores in a different way. So you've taken that core gameplay idea of the movement on the pilot side, but also the Titan, even though it's Titanfall, the Titan isn't really like the primary thing, which is surprising to me too. Because I was worried about that. They keep separating you from your Titan a lot. And I was like, oh no, and I'm just this dumb old soldier guy. But what ends up happening, Cooper. This is crazy how they're able to do this, is because of the movement in the game, it makes you forget you even have a Titan. And so it's such a cool way to do this because the Titan is fun, of course. Who doesn't like being in a mech? But the gameplay of the pilot itself is good on its own. And so you're taking that, just the wall jump mechanic, and each level exploring a different aspect of that. Like how does it evolve? How does it change? And the crazy thing is, so in my ranking of like single player first person shooter campaigns, I would put this maybe at second. Okay. But let me explain that. My number, while I was playing this, all I could think about is, you know what this game reminds me of? This game reminds me of a Half-Life game. And I mean this in the best sense, as a compliment. My number one first-person shooter campaign is Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
It is incredible. Unfortunately, it's locked in VR, but that's part of what makes it incredible. But just the narrative design of it. And I think if you like Titanfall 2, you need to experience Half-Life Alyx because it's so similar in the way it's presented. And so this is right up there with it, which is a huge thing. And the one right after this, I would say, is Portal 2. The Portal 2 campaign is incredible as well. And so I had to look it up. I was like, did people work for Valve and work on this at the same time? Not really. But I did find, this is so strange, I found an interview on redbull.com when Titanfall 2 came out. I didn't even know they did game reviews, but they interviewed some of the Titanfall 2 people when it came out, and they did list Half-Life and BioShock as inspirations for Titanfall 2. And so I totally can see like that inspiration with Half-Life 2 is like this as well, where you're just, it's telling you a story and it's exploring gameplay ideas in a way where like it just keeps showing you something fresh, something new. And so I do think maybe the overall, I think I maybe misunderstood when people would hype up the storyline of this or whatever. I think it's a okay story. It is a little bit generic sci-fi. That's okay though. But overall, this story being involved in this type of gameplay exploration, each level, the sense of movement, not just literal movement of jumping, but you're not stopping for anything. You're just keep going. There's not like stop, do this puzzle. Even the puzzles, you're like moving. And so I think
I thought about Portal a lot when I was playing this, Josh.
I did too.
Yeah,
I did too.
I'm thinking about,
It felt like Portal 2 especially. And so I too I'm like Jerica. This is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I've been missing out. I've been missing out for 10 years, 9 years.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. And I know, yes, Kayla's been telling us you got to play Titanfall 2. When will we start trusting Kayla's recommendations? You know,
no, I've been telling you.
She's a professional recommender. So this was a great pick for, it's nice and short. And again, like I don't like games that waste my time. This game does not waste your time. Every moment is intentional. Every moment is just moving you forward. The mechs, by the way, so fun. Like I'm like casual mech enjoyer, but I used to watch like Gundam Wing and like all these like mech animes, and just even like being in the mech and the sense of scale and just the side dodging and everything. It just really, I used to play Mech Warrior 2 like on Mac like 20 years ago. So I like that's a little more arcadey. It's not quite like a mech sim, but it still has like some of those kind of mech tropes in it with like how I like, you don't even really have like ammo management, right? It's just like slow reloads and stuff. But I like the kits of the different mech loadouts, and it's just a really, really smartly designed game for sure.
Nice. I love what you mentioned about, because we're going to get into like some specific story beats that I want to expand on, and I want Coleman to have time to wax poetic about his favorite mission. But I love what you said about, and it's kind of hard to explain, especially when you're not wanting to spoil something for someone, about like the impact, because I think it's really the combination of the gameplay and the story and like the integration, like because you've heard me and Jerica and me with this game specifically and other games talk about like the environmental storytelling of it all.
Yeah.
And I think this does it really well. In its placement of its obstacles, its placement of its like set pieces, the way that you interact with the gameplay. Josh, I know one thing you talked about in the Discord was like thinking you're going the wrong way sometimes.
Yes.
Like it feels like you're not even like going the
sometimes
right direction.
It feels like you're going out of bounds or like
yeah,
like through like around a wall and like on a pipe, a drainage pipe, and like up over things. And I'm like, I don't know, am I just gonna like fall off the map or something? But
it's in like a fun way. It's like, oh, like I feel like I'm exploring.
It feels like you're
I'm
smart.
Around. Yeah, exactly. And it's because they've led you there. But Koleman, I know we've all been kind of talking for a minute. I want to open the floor, kind of move into our expert mode where we're going to talk about like a little bit of mission by mission in a way. We can definitely skip around, but like Josh said, I feel like every moment in the game is very intentional with what it's trying to tell you. Where we left off, it was kind of around when you really just start to kind of understand the intentions of the enemy and like who you're up against. And you have Jack Cooper, who's you essentially, and he's still very like skittish and like doesn't really understand what's going on. But I know we were on the precipice of one of your favorite missions, Koleman. Did you want to talk about what you were so excited to get Jerica and Josh to?
Was it Into the Abyss?
The mission I wanted y'all to do was the time mission.
Yeah.
That is the coolest mission for me out of like any first person campaign shooter game. Like it was just so cool because you're not safe. You know, for anyone who hasn't played the mission, you visit a abandoned like robot facility and you find a wristwatch that goes around your hand.
It's just like he got erased again.
Wow.
Sorry, I interrupted the whole spiel. You were talking about you're impressed.
But we have it somewhere.
What I was gonna say is like Koleman was saying about how cool it is with the time mechanic of when you're fighting soldiers and it, you know, you can just like get behind them by moving to time. What they do later in the level is like there's like the dinosaur creatures in the present. And so it becomes like hard to do both because the dinosaurs are really aggressive too. And so it's like, well, do I fight all these soldiers and then you might just flash to the dinosaur people for like for a second, but they're like chasing you and they're like flashing back. So definitely very, very smart how that's designed as well.
Yeah,
it's like you're fighting two waves of enemies at the same time because once you finish killing all the people there, you'll switch back and then you'll be like, oh my god, dinosaurs, and you'll go back, oh my god, people, and then and you go back and forth.
Yeah, and like this, like think back to like, I mean, again, I'm playing this in real time while it's out, and Koleman is too, and it's like we're like this is really my first kind of like FPS experience at all, and I'm getting this like kind of like very immersive. I mean, I don't even realize how video games can do this, like at the time, because like I've been just shooting Call of Duty Zombies like before this. I mean, I don't know, like I mean, I've played games, of course, but like it felt very, especially even feeling like it now, especially at the time, it felt like revolutionary. Like it was very, especially like I know we kind of stepped into the time loop of it all, but like I think these two missions really bleed into each other very well when we talk about Into the Abyss with the like building of the creepy rooms and like the scenes and then flipping upside down and being able to go into like the training mission is scary. Like it's so did it freak you out, Jerica? What did you think about like the lead up to this mission?
It was a little unsettling. Like I don't know, it's just like I don't know the word for it, pre-manufactured. Anything time there's like mannequins. Is that what we're talking about? That level? Am I getting that right? Mm-hmm. They just sort of freak me out anyways. And then like everyone sort of, or the baddie, the lady talking to you over the speaker is just making me sound like she's after me and I'm scared. But yeah, it was scary. And then everything was chasing me in the arena. And it was moments I'm like trying to run inside the houses like to get away from whatever was chasing me. The other mech, I forgot who. My biggest complaint, too many villains. There's too many.
I agree.
And they're all the most generic names ever, except Viper. I can remember him. And he was the most unique out of all of them to me, in my opinion.
I told you Viper was going to be cool.
Yeah, Viper was cool. Yeah, I love that level. And then comparing like this level to using like the what do we call this thing? The thing that gets you back and forth with time. Is it the time cuff? What was it called?
I know that it actually has a name. Coleman, do you know? I just see like time shifting.
Arc beacon or something.
The time shift cuff thing or thing, stress ball. We'll call it the time phase stress ball. I love using the arc gun that you acquire a lot, and that's where I got a lot of Portal vibes, because like, and you know, another way this game sort of gives you a new way to play is while you're, I forget what you're doing in this specific area, but there was just obviously still a lot of walls to be running on, so I'm running and jumping, but you can use the arc gun to sort of like activate platforms, activate doors, and a lot of that you're doing while you were literally in the air. And like that kind of quick sort of reactionary play is like so much fun to me. It took me back literally to playing Portal. And if you've never played Portal, that we might need to add. Kayla, have you ever played Portal?
I think she played Portal. Oh, yeah, I thought you played Portal 1.
No, I downloaded it because you recommended
Portal
it, Josh,
1 is short. Portal 2 is longer, but very good as well.
Yeah. I'll have to think about which one you should play. Portal, maybe we do this on book club at some point. But they're so good. And that definitely reminded me of that. And I thought, too. I was like, you don't see that. Once again, you don't see these things as often in an FPS first person game. Yeah. And it's just so fun. Another thing I'd want is just, I wish I could have one more other thing in another level, you know, or could I have taken these mechanics and had them throughout the game? But at the time, maybe it was difficult. And already at the time, having a level reload different assets back to back whenever you want, now much easier to do. But back then, I don't know if that was, you know, a challenge, and why they sort of narrowed it down to this one experience. But I'd love to have been able to do that more, because to Josh's point, you were never safe, even though I was like, oh, bye. I'd squeeze the thing, bye. And I go into this room like, oh God, no, boy, let me go back and forth. It was so fun.
I think that's what's cool, is because like you could make a whole game just on this premise.
Yeah.
But they don't. I think that's what's interesting, is that the core gameplay mechanic is still like the movement and the platforming almost. And so this is just like in service of that, even though this alone could be its own full game, which I know that would be like really a pain. But Coleman, give us one more take, just in case it's muted on the VOD too, about this level specifically, especially where you're talking about the fans and stuff.
Being able to like jump into a fan shaft, and you're staring at this fan shaft and you see it's literally fire coming out of it. And you're like, well, I have to jump in that because that's where I have to go. And so you'll come to a section where you'll time shift, and then it's normal, and then you'll time shift again, and then it's fire again. And you have to pass through each individual level until you get to the very end. And it's very fast and chaotic. And yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite levels, is being able to just like switch back and forth through the chaos like that. And if I'm not wrong, is that mission like the end? Is it the game end close to that mission, or no?
So it's close, but what I love is you keep going, and essentially after you get, because you're getting the arc weapon for after you rendezvous back with the militia, which by the way, this whole time you're like a rookie. You don't even know, like you're not even a pilot. You show up and our baddie Sarah Briggs is like, well, I guess you're a pilot now. Let me get you your Titan. And BT's like, hell no, he's mine. Like, they try to like give you to a different tech, like mech Titan. I just have a moment there. Oh my God. But I also love, like, I forget where we use this mechanic for the first time, but as soon as they do the softball where like he throws you, and I thought about that immediately. I was like, oh yeah, this is a core memory. Like I remember this moment. And just the bond that you start to make. I know the story, again, not the main focus or investment in the characters, but like when you get to the part where like BT's like, no, like he's my pilot. And he's like, I can't lose another pilot. Like, that's my pilot. And I was like, oh my God, I can't.
Sarah Briggs is like, oh, you're with an untrained pilot. He's like, oh, okay, we'll get you with the new pilot. We'll get you with the trained one. He's like, no, I want this one.
Since we're on the topic of BT, can I bring something up?
Of course.
I tried to romance BT multiple times and the game wouldn't let me. Missed opportunity. I should give it a 9 out of 10 because of this, but I'm not, because I'm just joking. Or am I? But seriously, I think like the bond, you get to some pivotal moments where that bond is starting to form, even though it's like against all regulations. BT's like, I can't have even a friendly relationship with you. Like, this is my job, is to fulfill the duty.
Protect the pilot.
Protect the pilot. But I wish there was, like, if anything this game could have done that was within the scope of what was possible, was like have more time to slow down and have them go back and forth. Because I would like to know more about Cooper and how he got, and maybe it's in there, but I don't think I missed it. But a little bit more backstory about Cooper, so Definitely. I felt a little bit more connected to him. You know, it could be a fireside chat in between missions where I'm talking to BT and we're just like opening up about things. Would have been really cool. And I think it would be a creative way to like you as a player to learn about Cooper and also explore romantics with this mech. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. But at least have, you know, they had dialogue choices and things that you could have conversation as you're wall running. But I like even more of that would have been really cool to just learn more about BT, learn more about Cooper would have been awesome. So
have any of you seen the movie The Wild Robot?
I haven't watched it. It's on my wish or watch list.
If you like BT, you should watch The Wild Robot.
It looks like it's one of those that might make me sad, though.
It's good. It's very good.
I think so.
Is the robot romanceable in the movie?
It just reminds me a lot of like how BT acts, where like at first BT is kind of like, well, a literal robot, very literal with things. And then kind of as they interact, they kind of learn sort of, you know, like a bond, you know.
And after you kind of like regroup with Briggs and like BT has claimed you, which I do love that they include this because it kind of reiterates that BT has the upper hand, like that you're the rookie and like you're kind of like in service of the Titan almost because of his like stature in the group, which they do something else like this earlier on in the game, I think before, where they think that Cooper is the other captain. Like, because he's in BT.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. And I agree. Like, I think that there could be a little bit more focus on their relationship, but I kind of love that it's a little bit more subtle. Like, and I think that it does make sense for like, I mean, they're in war basically. Like, and you know, they probably aren't like having that like one-on-one time with their buddies, especially like if you're in like your weapon, essentially. But they do like insinuate that like the link is like a bond and like a moment between them. But essentially they're gearing up for like the big, like you find out because like the time thing is really like kind of dropped on you a little bit. I feel like it's not like it's kind of out of nowhere, which I think really does well for the game, is like, oh wow, there's this whole other element. And they essentially the IMC is like plotting to like Thanos worlds, essentially.
It's very Star Wars: A New Hope, to be honest.
Yeah,
very
for sure.
Like Death Star, the rebels, the plans. You know, very much.
But Coleman, what do you think? Do you think that there's any part of the narrative that you would have liked more focused on, or like reflecting on it? What do you feel like could have even pushed it further for you as someone who already enjoys like the game so much?
I mean, Jerica kind of nailed it with being able to, not with the romance option, but with being
okay.
Well, actually, I mean, I kind of do it. I would have loved to know more about Jack Cooper than instead of just the very beginning, you know. But it also kind of leaves room for imagination, and two, being like, I love a good game where it makes you be the character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes specifically in like Halo Reach, when you play as a Spartan and you're with this other team and your helmet never comes off, there's never any like thing with like you don't have a name, you don't have anything, you're just you. So that's kind of what I think with Jack Cooper sometimes, is he's a soldier, you know, you're Jack Cooper. And so But I would, both sides, I would like to have some backstory of how he got in the military, where he came from, and like stuff like that. Um, I love the dialogues between BT and Jack Cooper, and I love that scene where you're falling off the tower and you're screaming for BT as you're about to go right over the edge, and he reaches out and grabs you and says, "Gotcha!" And then you give him a thumbs up,
That's a
and
good
he
one.
gives you a thumbs up back. And it's just the small things like that that you're like, oh, but you want more of. So yeah, I agree. I definitely want more of that kind of element to it. But
I forgot about
they're
that catch.
soldiers.
It's a good
The
one.
catch.
What were we saying?
There
They're
was
soldiers?
another, yeah, like they're soldiers. So like they, he think Jack tries to be serious. Jack Cooper tries to be serious, but he also likes to cut up with BT at the same time. There is one small thing I wanted to ask y'all about was I really enjoyed the smart pistol. Do y'all remember the smart pistol?
Oh my gosh. You know
Yeah,
what
that
I was
shit was
thinking the whole
dope.
time? I was like, why don't they just
And,
equip everyone with
and
this thing?
It was awesome. It was so
and
badass.
do you remember how, did you feel angry? Did you want to like, oh, I want to just, oh, I'm gonna kill that. Like I want to, like, you just want to, you're angry after
It was
what
awesome. It was
happens
a
to
power
BT. You're
trip.
angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, because essentially,
Yeah.
like getting to that
Yeah.
moment, you think BT, you
Yeah.
assume, which I mean, we find out later, but you assume that something is, and I really kind of forgot this moment, but like essentially BT gets like yeeted by another Titan in like
Yeah.
close quarters, and
Yeah.
you are able to like eject his likeness, it appears, like
Yeah.
with the little like BT little, I love little modules like
Me
this. That
too.
felt very
That's what I'm
Star
saying.
Wars.
Ugh.
It
Yeah.
did.
Like it his like little core kind of came out and it had this like kit. It's
An
called the Seer
emergency
kit.
kit. But the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
emergency kit is better than the
That's why
Titan
it's OP,
weapons.
because it's in
Come
his
on.
head.
Yeah, come
But
on.
here's the
Give me
thing,
that thing.
Josh, you can't use that and have access to the Titan.
Well,
That's the
you don't need a
thing.
Titan if you got that.
No, I mean, but I would say I'm so glad that you brought this moment up, Coleman, because you know, guys, what this reminded me of. This reminded me of that scene at the end of Control where you're like
I
running
didn't beat it.
through and you are absolutely destroying like I love to feel powerful.
Yeah.
And like I just love that kind of scene in a game where you're just like running towards your goal and like you have this like OP like weapon.
And
Like
on
I
top
think
of
that's
that, being able to still wall
That
run
part
and
was real
slide and
fun.
jump and doing any of these things midair is so badass. And it, to your point, Kayla, like you feel like a god, and it's so fun. Like that's, I think, any moment that I could implement the like using that gun, using the arc, using the time jump, like while you're just running and jumping is so fun. Like Coleman, you gotta play Ghost Runner. Have you ever played Ghost Runner?
I've
Check
never
it
played
out.
Ghost Runner, actually.
Check it out. There's a I haven't
I'll
played the
definitely
second
check
one,
it
but I
out.
played the first one. It's really hard, but I think you
It
could
is
probably
hard.
get into it. It's fun.
Oh, I have a little thing to add really quick before we move on. But Coleman, what did you were talking about the seer weapon? Like, is that one of your favorite scenes when you get to that point with the
The
smart
smart pistol?
weapon? Yeah.
I think that is probably one of my favorite scenes in the game, is having that blind rage of just having a super OP weapon. You want to get BT back and you'll do it regardless, and like you're just going. And I love those kind of scenes, like y'all said.
One thing that I wanted to mention that I found, I'm kind of looking through, I'm on Titanfall wiki.
Let's go.
And so I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any like key moments as we go through the missions, which by the way, I also love games like this that have very clear like sections. You know what I mean? Like I love that like we have chapters. We have like we're progressing through the story in a very like linear way, which I really enjoy personally. But apparently there's a moment in the beacon mission where you come across a destroyed Titan and its pilot, and BT kind of takes a moment to like reflect, and he recognizes the pilot.
Yeah, it's in front of the doors. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and so they kind of have a brief moment where they actually share, like BT reminds Cooper that he actually has amnesia from his fall, and so he has like some memory loss. So that might be why we don't have like that background information on him, because
Makes sense.
I forgot
here's
about
what
that
they say.
too.
So it says that they found the pilot and the Titan who were served in the fracture operation. Upon questioning from Cooper, BT also reminds Cooper that he in fact fought in said operation only to suffer a case of amnesia due to head injury, hence why he failed to remember himself. So
I remember because then Jack was like, "Oh yeah."
I sort of missed that.
It was by
sort
a
of just like
power
interested in
station
what the
before you
fracture
go up.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I just thought that was interesting. And I guess we're pretty close to the end here. Any other like favorite moments like throughout? I think that the end is just such a crazy moment, but I don't want to skip ahead of anyone else. Like any other things?
Like with around this part, this communication dish part. I think this was really fun with the cranes, like moving those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite level.
For a second.
Yeah, and like she said, she had the arc gun. And I liked how you could also activate the robots to fight for you as well, which is fun. I think I got an achievement for that because at the end, if you activate them all, they'll just fight like all those people like at the end.
I got it too.
Yeah. And so I was like, I'm not fighting these guys.
No.
And then,
did you ever use the hypo knife to put in the back of the robot's head? And you could hack like the regular tiny robots.
I didn't do that.
I did it once and I forgot about it the rest of the time because I think you have to be like right up on them, so it's easy to miss.
Yeah.
But later in the which is another cool set piece one, in the one where you're like flying in the air, like on the ships, the drop ships, you don't have the arc gun anymore, but because you learned that you could control the robots, there's some robot bays in there, and if you get to them first, you can also activate them there, which is fun.
Yeah.
So and that was a pretty cool part too. Like he's throwing you all across onto the ships, and you're kind of like, it's like a train scene but like in the air, like a lot of video games have like train levels. It was like that but in the air.
Yes, I also love that. Is that one when you're like killing the gunners like as they're like shooting off the plane?
Yep,
I liked that one a lot too.
That's a good one.
And there's parts
Fighting
of this game that are hard.
So cool.
And Viper was hard. Viper's one of the only ones that I died multiple times.
Boss.
Yeah,
I do agree with Jerica's
die at
complaint
all.
about I do think the villains are a little bit generic, mainly because we don't fully have an investment in like what's happening with their like who they are, like what they're doing, and it's kind of very much like a Spawn. Like I do think that the scene with Viper, right, is the one where there's like multiple types of Titans on top of the ship. Is that right? That are fighting you?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of that?
No, there's not a bunch of Titans. It's just him. You're on the roof.
I thought there was other types of Titans.
I think there's like two. There's
two.
I
killed those like really fast. Yeah.
Did you guys all play on like regular mode?
Yeah,
like
regular.
Normal?
Yes.
Well, Coleman said he's beat it on hard.
I don't know how you beat him on
impressive.
Hard.
Game's hard, even on normal at times.
Yeah.
I struggled with Viper for a minute.
It's not in your notes, so you can talk about this real quick, which is not at the very end, but when the mercenary's like done, and then he's like, the boss guy's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, you didn't pay me to kill this dude," and he puts the Apex card on your little windshield. I was like, "Wait, Apex mentioned." And then I immediately after I beat the game, I looked up the Apex like opening, and he's there in the opening too. He's old because it's like 20 or 30 years later, and he's like talking about just Apex stuff, really. But I saw like on Reddit or something, people were complaining about that because they're like, "Oh, this means," and this was from like years. It's like whenever Apex came out, it was like around the launch time. They're like, "Oh, this means Jack never gets his revenge, and he never kills him because now we see him in this opening," and they're like all really mad about it.
Bro, time travel exists.
They're mad about it.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, with the ending, I think we should talk about it because I love the last mission. I think it is so good. It is just so epic again, like being able to where you're jumping around like in the air. You have essentially you thought you lost BT and you get him back because he gets put in this other Titan body. And
which is cool, you get to calm down too.
Yeah.
That's the only time you get to calm down.
Yeah. And you guys seriously need to play the multiplayer. I want to hear your multiplayer thoughts and experiences. And because it's really cool after you finish the game to like get to see all of the abilities and like how it all works. Obviously you don't have that like more intimate connection with your Titan because it's like multiplayer, but I do love the like actual like, stand back for Titanfall. It gave me chills. Coleman, we got to get a Titanfall tattoo. We got to plan this out.
Oh Lord.
Ooh.
But sorry, that was a side tangent. If you have a Titanfall tattoo, please let us know. But what did you guys think about the ending? I'm very curious.
So, like you said, when BT like gets captured and you're like captured, and he's getting beat up, and then you get the core, I was pretty much like, oh, this is like a fake out death thing because like robots, you could just get the brain. I was already thinking that before. I was like not too sad yet, even though he's getting beat up. I'm like, I don't think they're not going to kill BT because I was like, and then you get the core. So then it's like, oh no, we got his new body. It's like, yeah, I know. So it was like but then it was a double fake out. So I was actually kind of surprised at the end that he ends up, essentially,
3.
yeah, BT sacrifices himself to save Jack, essentially.
Jerica, what do you think?
This is where I was like a little predictable because like it had already sort of done it twice already, and I was like, this BT is gonna save Cooper no matter what. So when it finally happened, I was sort of prepared for it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But also Jordan texted me today when we were talking about Donkey Kong, was like, what do you think about the ending? And I was just like, still in the helmet, right? There's some form, like there was a reason why the helmet blinked.
So like post credits, right?
Yeah, there's BT still around.
For sure.
He's in the helmet.
Something like some kind of fragment, I think.
Yeah, like a likeness kind of thing. Yeah.
So where's Titanfall 3? When am I going to be reunited with BT?
Oh Lord, it's got canceled like 3 times.
You know what?
Segue.
A lot of things have been canceled, and they end up happening. A few things. I don't have any examples in them, so it might not be true, but I still have faith in it. Like I still think we'll see something from this world again.
That last mission is a little tough though, because you're fighting the most Titans at once.
Yes.
In the whole game, because really, like you've only fight like a couple times at a time, usually the whole game, and so this was all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got to fight like a lot of Titans.
Yeah, and honestly, did you guys realize? Like, it kind of took me a minute to remember that you can shift between your Titan loadout in mid battle.
Oh,
did you guys know that?
Yeah, I was doing it just to try different things a lot, and I still just kept going back to Tone and Ronin, like because I loved Bede. I don't know, just having something literally up close or far away is like my play style. In between other loadouts, I just couldn't get into it, and I was struggling a lot. Those were the only 2 I felt like I could actually make some damage and fast.
I like Tone with that too, because like Sarah Briggs was there, and so she was kind of up in people's face too. So I was like kind of back a little bit, just like picking them off.
Do y'all like any of the heavier set Titans? Like any of Scorch, the one that makes fire everywhere?
I like that one. I only used it that one mission.
I think anything with the Titans that are slowing me down even more because you're already sort of slow. Like I was just couldn't get into it. So I was like, that's probably if the Titan abilities and the Titan loadouts, like if you were in the Titan for multiplayer a lot, I don't know if I'd like it.
Yeah, you should play to find out, but you can both. Definitely both.
Okay.
Coleman, what did you think about the ending? What is your kind of like favorite thing about it? How do you feel about the fights, the emotional impact? Like, does it still hit for you all this time later and having
pain?
Pain. Yeah.
Pain. It hurts. I mean, it was predictable. Yeah, the double fake out. It kind of got me at the same time, but like it was. I back in 2016, Coleman is 16 years old and he's playing Titanfall 2 campaign and he wants to cry because he wants BT to be with Jack Cooper for the rest of his life, and I want them to fight the bad guys, but they hint at the Protocol 3 the whole entire game since the very beginning, and so the noble sacrifice. It's very, right when he sacrifices himself and you're on the pieces of floating rock, jumping between each floating pieces, and then you heroically jump towards that helicopter. I distinctly remember playing it for the first time and just being like, I'm sitting there running like he's dead.
What am I even doing this for?
Did any of y'all die during that scene. You missed the rock or something. Because did you ever? No. Okay.
Surprisingly, yeah.
There's scenes where like you're sitting there and you look down and you're falling, and then you see a floating rock coming up for you to land on, and it messes with my head, and so I will either just completely miss it, and then it'll ruin the mood because then I die and then I go back. But it's it's very sad.
Yeah.
The cool part about the ending is watching the whole entire planet implode right when you go up to space.
Dang.
Like I didn't expect that to happen from that.
For sure.
I have one little side thing about that we didn't get to talk about was Ash when you fight her.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this last episode. Did you ever melee any of the Titans when they were like when they had that caution bar on them and you
I did try it. It's cool. It's actually really cool. Because you basically it'll rip. It's like a finishing move. So like rip the Titan open, you'll like pull the pilot out and stuff. It's cool.
That's dope.
It's cool.
So I did that, and I did it to Ash, and I straight up ripped her out, and I squished her, and then she exploded. And well, we know that she's like in Apex, so it's kind of funny. I've seen videos of people like, how did she survive getting squished and blown up like that? And yeah, I wanted to talk about if y'all had
she's
assassinated like doing any of the cool moves.
Because she's a computer program too, so she can just upload to a different body as well, just like BT.
That's true.
So that's probably what they did. But
speaking of like,
I did do that a couple times. I was trying to do it more after you mentioned it, and it was hard to do sometimes. You'd accidentally kill them, but I think I did it twice.
Yeah, and you got to get close to them and like do the whole thing. But also another thing that is prevalent in the campaign, but also like more prevalent in the multiplayer. When you enter the Titan, you can, depending on what angle you enter at, is a different like animation of how you get into the Titan. So you can come from like the top and like jump on top, and he like grabs you and puts you in like through the top, or like underneath. You can like slide into like underneath the Titan, and the animation changes based on like how you approach BT to like enter the Titan.
It also changes sometimes on the Titan way, like you know how there's the smaller one and then a medium size and a large size. It changes on that too. So if you're playing as Legion and you have like that big minigun, I think correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure when you go into that Titan, you run up the minigun and then go inside the.
Cool.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? It does so many cool things, even with its multiplayer, that like keep you kind of like, it's very much like ADHD like farm. Like it's like
a hell yeah game. This is what this is. It's a hell yeah game.
It is. And I'm so glad that you guys liked it, and I love that you guys love it. And I want to know, like, as we start to wrap up like our discussion, and we've all talked about how like there's been discussions about having another game. I at times I feel like they've used Apex as like a stand-in for a continuation of the game, which I mean, in some ways there is a lot of that story progression that happens kind of like adjacent to Titanfall, which now I kind of want to replay with the fresh replay of Titanfall on my mind and kind of look at it through that lens.
From what I looked up, in Apex, IMC doesn't even exist anymore. That's like 30 years later, so
yeah,
something happened, I guess.
So what would you guys, and I think I think Jerica's ready to Jerica, what would you want from Titanfall 3?
I want to romance BT. Is what I want. Why can't I love the robot? Why can't I upload it with the romantic protocol so we could be each other's soulmates? That's what I want. BT, my perfect buddy tank boyfriend. My BT BF T.
Buddy tank with benefits.
Yeah. That's it. Mm-hmm. No, I just like, it would be so cool. I'm gonna leave the big face on. I think this is entertaining. I think this would be like the perfect moment for them to like come back to the franchise because of the technical advancements obviously we've made with gaming. I think about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart just being able to utilize like SSD now, and like how quickly they could load levels if they wanted to play with that time change situation in the levels. That'd be really cool. But also, like, what else could they come up with? They came up with these things. Like, I just want this team to be able to make another Titanfall and have more of this, and a longer experience would be really cool. Just a smidge longer. I'm usually like, oh, this game's too long. I think this could have been I'd preferred it to have been like maybe a 12-hour game. Okay. That'd been great. I'll get my big head off of here now. So
like if you were to picture like a continuation of this world, is there anything in particular you'd want it to follow, or you really just want them to be able to make more stuff? It sounds like.
Yeah, any new Titanfall, it doesn't have to, BT, I'm sure maybe they get thrown into the mix, but like a new Titanfall campaign is what I want. A new Titanfall game. Yeah. Titanfall 3, that's what I want. And it doesn't have to continue the story. It can maybe, there's probably some Apex knowers and this universe knowers that could help expand where they could take it now, and how whatever Titanfall game could come next, how would that impact Apex? Yeah. Could that change the game?
You're onto something here, because you remember how, what they did with Riot did with League of Legends. You had League of Legends, and they spun that thing off into, a manga, a fighting game, this kind of game, an anime. So Apex is actually pretty popular. When I went to Japan, I was shocked. It's so popular. There's like billboards everywhere, like in Tokyo. What? Like, it's crazy. Apex is really popular, pretty popular here, but I was surprised how popular it was in Japan. And so I think there's something there, like you just said, like it doesn't Titanfall 3, or it might not even have to be Titanfall 3, but you have Titanfall 3 and that's in this world. You have Apex that's in this world. Well, just do more stuff in this world. You're talented designers, obviously, like they're passionate about it, and it's interesting enough. So you could use some of the Apex characters or whatever you want to do, like do other things, like expand into other genres or like whatever, I don't know what you would improve on this. So I kind of, in that sense, it's like, how do you improve on perfection, right? Titanfall 2, it's like, what do you do? Titanfall 3, it's like, well, how do you do that? I like your idea, like you're saying, the SSD idea, like with Rift Apart, even that Sonic Racing recently, like it goes into like the other levels and stuff. Yeah. So there's stuff you could do, but yeah, why not try some other kind of genre or explore some other kind of thing within the universe? Why not?
Coleman, what about you? What you've been dreaming of this moment for 10 years of what it could look like. Or do you even think there should be one, Coleman? What do you think?
Execs couldn't hear this.
There is 100%. There needs to be a third game, like 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of multiplayer. Y'all haven't seen this yet, but there's a lot of multiplayer things that I want in the next game to go in there. So there is a PvE mode in multiplayer where you're with 3 other people and you're just fighting waves of Titans and you have to defend an objective.
That's cool.
That's a game mode. Yeah. They even have this thing, I think it's called I don't know if it's called the Gauntlet. I think the Gauntlet is actually the time course thing, which, by the way, the time course is a huge deal. Like, there's world records. There is, if you see videos of it, it is insane. And I want that to come back. I want like this niche things like that. There's even a 1v1 mode in multiplayer. So you just 1v1 a pilot. Just you and a pilot, no Titans. It's like a very small map. And I love stuff like that because I play the multiplayer more than anything, and having the memories of me and my buddies playing together. And I definitely want that same feeling in the multiplayer as the campaign. I want like new classes. I want customization. Like I want big campaign. Like
loot
skins
boxes
and stuff like that. Also, what I want is environment destruction. That would be really cool in the third game.
Now we're talking.
I think environment destruction would be amazing. Like blowing up a
where
building
Titans
with
could just run through a wall. Yeah.
Like that would be cool. I would like stuff like that.
Yeah. I think, like, honestly, I actually really like where the story ends. I think it would be cool to kind of like pick up with Cooper again, or like maybe even like Cooper is like has a new protege that you're like training up. Maybe a girl. That would be
female.
cool. Get some female representation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? And correct me if I'm wrong, Coleman, but isn't there like there's female Titans, right? Am I making that up? Isn't there a class that's like female necessarily, like Titan-wise? Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know where that came from.
Wait, actually, I think you might be right. There are like skins for certain Titans, like
Yeah,
in multiplayer that you can get pay money for to get. I I think there is.
I don't know.
I'm not
But
100% sure, but you know.
obviously we have Briggs, which we stand, of course. But like it would be cool to have like Cooper's kind of like older and maybe like because you do get that little like end credit scene where there's like the blinking of the helmet. So like maybe BT isn't like existing anymore, but he is like a voice in his HUD, like his helmet.
He's like a
And he's
Jarvis.
yeah, he is, or like a Yoda, like he's a force
I wouldn't do
ghost.
that if I were you.
Yeah.
That's what he would
Yeah,
say to me all the time.
exactly. Be like, I love you, Jerica.
Or
Come
that.
back to me.
Yes.
But it sounds like we're all at least on the same page that
What was your pitch?
we would want more of this universe. That was basically my I think like I don't necessarily have a whole pitch for him, but like I was saying, like I think it would be cool for like Cooper to have like a protege underneath him. And um you know, you've saved the world, but like what do you do now that you do have this time device? Like can you use it for something else? Like is there something that we could do to maybe like use it for good? I don't know. I mean, there's always bad guys to fight. So there's surely something else to come up. But I think I'm also kind of in the same lane as Jerica. Like I think they have this like technical ability, which by the way, I don't know if you guys remember, only like about 60 people made this game in general. Like it was a pretty small
Very
like
impressive.
studio at the time who created not only this campaign, which is relatively short, like we talked about, but it's very like comprehensive as far as its like technical ability. Alongside like the multiplayer. So definitely recommend trying the multiplayer out. Would love to play with all of you guys sometime. But I can't believe we finally did Titanfall 2, y'all.
Amazing.
I'm so happy that Coleman was able to join us for both episodes. Thank you, Coleman, again for joining us. Any other closing thoughts?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Stand back for Titanfall.
I go back and forth. I'm like, I see so many leaks about, oh, they're gonna do Titanfall 3, and I'm like, don't give me hope. Don't give me hope.
Oh, Jerica's invisible.
Jerica's
She's cloaked
again.
I'm cloaking.
The pilot cloak.
This is me cloaking.
Do we have any like recommendations for people? I know we kind of talked about like Portal 2,
Half-Life 2, Half-Life Alyx, Time Splitters 2 if you have a PlayStation 2.
I've never played Time Splitters.
It's going older.
Ooh, not to get us on a tangent when we're ending the episode, but Coleman and Jerica also have something in common that I don't know if they know that they have in common. Weren't you guys both Anthem enjoyers?
Yes, Anthem had the best flight mech suit ever made. Everything else was sort of hit or miss, but the mechanics of all of it, impressive.
Just flying in that game. The flying was so cool.
So good. So good.
Maybe, do you feel like the movement's kind of like, I mean, there's some similarities in movement, maybe, in a way? No?
Sort of.
Maybe not.
Sort of. But yeah,
you feel heavy. You feel heavy when you're in the. I get the heaviness feeling like when you're in a Titan, you know, like you feel heavy. Same as when you're in like, you know, the Iron Man suit armor thing. I mean, you literally climb into your suit as you start the mission. So, gone too soon. Rest in peace, man.
I figured you guys would need. Oh, one thing we can't forget is Jerica. Do you want to announce our next video game book club?
Oh yes, perfect time for the big head coming in hot. Should I get closer? Here I am. We're playing a brand new game, y'all. We're gonna play Silent Hill F. So if you want to play along with us with a brand new hot, scary game, you get to be scared with us, which doesn't happen often. It's everyone being scared at the same time. You want to do that? I want to do that. I don't want to be alone and scared. So
I want to watch that.
Yeah, we want to watch that. Everybody wants to watch it. So watch it.
Yeah.
Come to us. Come to us next week. Come to us so we can talk about. We don't know yet. You have to come to the show to find out because I'm going to find it.
We're gonna find out.
It does not, in fact, stand for free because this is an $80 game, unfortunately.
Koleman says they're so excited for this game. So yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
There's gonna be some folks in here that are gonna be playing at launch. So we hope that you're one of them. We know Ghost of Yote is right around the corner too. We know. But this is the first game in Japan I want to play first. The other one's gonna have to wait.
Jerica is an experienced Silent Hill player, and this will be my first ever Silent Hill game. So I'm excited to experience it.
I've never actually beaten one, so except the playable teaser.
Yeah.
But we are both. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We are Resident Evil knowers, so like it's gonna be fun comparing this to that. So
we are knowers. Well, cool. And we don't have any idea. This is our first time doing a new release. Technically, Tiny Bookshop was a new release, but it's obviously different. So we're not sure how many weeks we're gonna go. We're just gonna see what happens and figure it out.
Vibes,
but Koleman, thank you again for joining us for 2 weeks, and hope to see you again in the future. I'm sure we'll find something that we can have you on for again. Drop him a follow, Koleman with a 1 on all platforms, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. I got this fun little camera app, so I'm having a good time.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. I need to get that so we can do it at the same time.
I know. Download Camo. You can use any camera with it.
Okay.
This is cool.
It's already off.
Koleman, you're a professional podcaster.
Awesome.
You did great.